president. A great night for him. Still awaiting our first goal in this match. There have been quite a few goals in this Copa del Rey day. In case you missed it earlier today, Real Madrid closing out what ended up being a 13-2 aggregate over Cultural Leonesa. Not quite the same for Atletico Madrid, but they ended up opening up with a 6-0 thrashing. Of course, Real Madrid playing their first leg early because they have Club World Cup duties coming up at the end of the year, when the rest of these teams will be playing their second leg. Again, no changes in the lineup. Miguez, the 20-year-old goalkeeper for Hércules. Ingles, Roman, and Rojas, the back three. Dalmau and Peña on the flanks. Omba and Espinosa inside. Gaspar and Salinas in support of Mainz. Just deflected away from Alenyap. And here is the 18-year-old. Back to Turan. The Dutchman Sillissen, brought from Ajax to replace Claudio Bravo, getting the call here today. Nice touch from Gaspar. Vidal, Lopez, Umtiti, and Digne, the back line. Alenya, Rafinha, Carbonell, and Suarez. Rafinha cheating upfield with Turan in support of Alcácer. Not quite that 31-minute invisible spell from Paco Alcácer that we saw a few weeks ago, but not much better. Alcácer just one shot and just 17 passes in the opening half. In fact, no one had fewer touches on the Barcelona side than Alcácer in the opening stanza. Nice spin to try and get away from Mainz. Quickly surrounded. Cutting just at the edge of the area, Jose Gaspar. Initially, it looked like it might have been coming over for simulation, but apparently getting the talk from his assistant, and a free kick just outside the area. What a move by Jose Gaspar.
Yeah, Jose Gaspar, a great job to cut back to the outside, and Borja Lopez sticking out his boot right there, and he just leaves out the leg a little bit too long.
Does he pull it away in time?
Let's see. Well, you saw the contact against the shin there. Leaves it out that second too long. He's had a rough first 48 minutes. Borja Lopez with his distribution, and they are bamboozled by the trickery.
That was only a couple of inches away from a potential penalty. Peña having a chat with Gaspar.
Expect this one to go on goal, though it is quite a narrow angle.
Had a great chance in the opening half, trying to open up the hips and find that back corner on a breakaway that harmlessly rolled to Sillissen. Here, a chance from the free kick. Sillissen, center of his goal, maybe a yard off the line. 3 in the wall for Barca. Gaspar sneaks it in, but down goes Sillissen quickly, and that was more difficult than it looked.
Yeah, very close there. Surprised he was able to squeeze that one through the wall, just to the side of it. And Sillissen had to get down. He was anticipating that shot to be flung into the near post, as it was, but still had to get down very low. Barca's backup goalkeeper.
Second save of the match for the Dutchman. Vidal flying in up the back of Álvaro Salinas. Another player promoted from Hércules B squad, although normally a regular bench warmer. A few of these players were called up from the regular B squad for Hércules. They're also going through a bit of an injury bug. Mentioned the goalkeeper Chema. Pacheco, the normal holding midfielder, Javi Flores and Nieto, none of them available on the day. So they had to call up 4 youngsters, including Edu Yedo. Bit of a legacy, the backup keeper today, the 20-year-old. Away from Denis Suarez.
Another look at it, takes that bounce right in front of Sillicin, and sometimes that is difficult for a goalkeeper to judge trajectory of the ball.
By the way, great work from Juanma Espinosa. He was that window at the edge of the wall that just kind of banged into the wall and created space to allow that shot to sneak through. Trickles away. We'll try it again. Hércules, founded as an organization back in 1914. Football club did not join until 1922. Some 23 years after Barcelona was founded. In fact, celebrating their 117th anniversary yesterday. But they still haven't unwrapped the present today. Good ride off the challenge from Lopez. Gaspar into the center for Emmanuel Omba. Leaves it for Juanma. Almost as though Barcelona, and admittedly not a first team, way too passive. And again, it's one of those things you're going to get when you know you have the second leg at home.
Yeah, but the passing combinations as well haven't been as fluid as you'd expect. Still some of the semi-regulars on the pitch.
Crossed inside, diving header, and walked home. It snuck past Rojas, but Mainz was there, and Hércules a deserved lead.
Oh, finally punished for the lackluster display. The cross isn't dealt with. It squeezes across the face of the box. Intended target was on the near post. That defense of Umtiti and Borja Lopez has been shaky all night long.
Hard to fault Sillicin. He had to respect the dive of the big man, Jose Manuel Rojas, inside.
Yeah, and here's another look at the ball whipped in. And that first bounce, you see Umtiti stretching his entire body to try to get the header onto it. Misjudges it as it's curling to the inside. And then even Borja as well. It almost like he takes his foot away right there.
He was afraid of knocking it into his own net, but he did not realize that Mainz had peeled away. So the man who has only scored 1 goal all season long in the Segunda B has arguably now scored the biggest goal of his life.
Absolutely. It's sheer jubilation here for the Hércules players who have done so well, fighting for each other. Obviously it is bittersweet. Still know they have to go to the Camp Nou, but let them enjoy this moment. And what will Barca's response be? After a game, Phil, that you mentioned against Sociedad, one of the poorest displays under Luis Enrique. Oh.
Is this the way you want to get into El Clásico? Chance here as they look to add the lead, but there was a collision behind the play. And Titi charging up, and a head-to-head clash. Sergio Roberto on the bench, one of the available players if needed.
If we can see where it came.
Right in the back of the head. Mainz and Umtiti just trying to challenge and slam it away. Could argue that's a yellow card, but both players receiving treatment.
It seemed like either player had a gash open up. Just a nasty knock.
Well, there is no MSN available on the bench. No Iniesta, no Busquets, no Rakitic to save them. And in fact, the only regular starters as field players, Sergio Roberto and Andre Gomes. After that, you're looking at Neely, promising young defender from Las Palmas. And the hero might end up being Marc Cardona, the 21-year-old Barca B player out of San Luque. And again, hate to harp on it, his mind's getting some treatment to make sure that all is well. But imagine if this was just a one-legged affair. Out wide, Digne will get there with little problem. Finished third in the Segunda B Group 3 standings last year. Just missing out in the playoffs for promotion to the Segunda A. Luis Enrique bursting off the bench. And you could see Barca trying to reach for the accelerator. Carbonell practically invisible. Here's Borja, who probably wishes he was. Up for Aleñá. The Barca B players trying to do something themselves as they can't find a way to coordinate with the regulars. Here's Vidal. Carbonell. Trying to turn. Rafinha lays it off. Nice idea from Carbonell, but too many defenders to beat. Yeoman job in the midfield with Juanma Espinosa. And you saw Tevenet when that ball went in, Mateo, wanting to celebrate, but didn't want to celebrate too early.
He knows that it's still a very long road. The two legs to this fixture in the Copa del Rey really helping out a team like Barcelona. Much harder to see a fairy tale like you would in other competitions in England or in anything.
Rafinha. Well, he's got the quality to change this game. Lays it off. The shot sneaks in from long range. And Aleñá with a debut goal to remember.
And there's why Tevenet didn't celebrate too early. Just like that, Barcelona can change the tide. And great moment for Carlos Aleñá, who's been pretty good in possession. But this time he fires from distance. He's way outside the box, picks his angle to perfection. And this ball comes off his shoe beautifully. Look at the bounce, the head on. There's no curve or bend on it, just pure power. Does the goalkeeper react a bit late? He has a good angle on it. Clear path to the ball being struck. As Aleñá takes it on that slight hop. The way it comes off his foot, it just grazes the fingertips of Ivan Bigues. Who knows, maybe he should have done a bit better, but what a strike that is from the teenager. And just like that, Tevenet sees that lead evaporate.
Carlos Aleñá been on the bench a few times this year because of the injury issues. Clattering in to the back of Pedro Ingles, foul against Barca. Had not been able to come off of the bench in La Liga action. And making his starting debut in Spain today. We talked about all of those passes and opportunities he tried to create in the first half. Finally said, hey, if no one's going to get to my passes, I might as well shoot. Did get a full debut, of course, against Celtic, Aleñá. And he's getting the chance here to rule the roost. Spin's going to carry that one out. Kind of important when you consider, obviously, Lionel Messi filling a lot of that playmaking responsibility following the departure of Xavi, the absence of Iniesta. No one else has really stepped up into that role. Why not Aleñá?
Absolutely. We've seen other players like Gumbau as well playing that role in the Copa del Rey. Last season. And Alagna definitely looks like one for the future. Both him and Alex Carbonell.
Still just 18 years of age. Huge product out of La Masia. Here's Rafinha, another one who, along with his brother, came through that venerable youth system. Digne out wide. Arda Turan sneaks it through.
Good defending.
For those of you who might not be aware, a couple of young Americans in La Masia as well. Conrad de la Fuente from South Florida has been there for a while, scored recently in his age group, and Ben Lederman, who was caught up in that youth violation from FIFA that ended up in the transfer ban, getting a European passport, and now back and eligible to start playing in January. And he's another one of those guys that could be a playmaker in the future. Off to Digne, blasted in, saved by Biguet, still loose, lifted across, and saved at the wire by Peña.
Peña had to get that touch on Vidal right behind him, ready to rifle that one in. Good reflexes by even Biguet, though, at his near post, as Barcelona finally starting to play up to their potential.
Carbonell wide, Turan trying to get heels on chalk to stretch Hércules out side to side if they're going to collapse north and south. Suarez with the soft touch gets away. Nice chance on the break. Off balance, Mainz, and the ball back into the channel he would have been filling. Sillissen out.
Talked about this before the match, Phil. Hércules and so many of these smaller teams in the lower divisions, when they go up against Real Madrid or Barcelona, the La Liga big boys, they'll expend so much energy in the first half, really do their all to ride on that adrenaline of playing a team that they wouldn't normally face. But then in the second half is when you see the meltdown, and looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here again, as Barcelona really stepping it up.
Although still just 1-1, and it was Hércules who scored first. Chance for Digne, sails over the crossbar. Take another look.
And that's the youngster again here. It's great strike to settle it, and slight hop there. He catches it with so much power.
Started to tail away, and yes, you know what? I think
he took another hop. Yep, you saw them there take another hop right as the ball was struck, and by the time he could plant his feet and dive over to his left-hand side, it was too late.
Mentioned that match against Celtic coming in the International Champions Cup in the preseason. Barcelona and Celtic both participating. It's a time where a lot of these youngsters, before the veterans come back from their off-season break, get a chance to shine and impress the coaches. In many ways, they don't get similar chances until these Copa del Rey matches in the round of 32. And, well, Borja Lopez might have had a match to forget, or at least a few moments he'd like to erase from the memory banks. Carlos Alagna, match to remember.
Great sliding challenge there from Arda. That's exactly what they needed, a bit more effort as well in winning the ball back. That same kind of pressure that we saw from Hércules in the first half.
In Sports where you can find out all of the latest, including updates on that Real Madrid victory. Atletico Madrid's big win as well. Of course, share your thoughts on Twitter. Nice from Ongba. Well, if they really want to have any chance of avoiding a pumpkin-like appearance in the second leg at the Camp Nou, Hércules needs to find another goal here. Mainz leading the line a little too well. Cannot go in to Barcelona needing a victory. Even if they say that they know they really don't have a chance in this tournament. They are competitors, they are professional. Mainz scoring in the 52nd after some sloppy defending. A nice cross though. And Aleñá single-handedly tying things up. Deflected away. Has Salinas. Again, Rafinha, Aleñá. Turan. Looking for that dagger pass. Carbonell was there, but elects not to go to the youngster.
That's good patience, though, from Arda Turan, just waiting for that angle to open up, which it never did.
Top of the box, laid off Turan, looking for Aleñá.
He's done that a few times out of Turan, playing with his back to goal, right alongside Paco Alcácer, who once again, he's been quite invisible. He's been the intended target a few times. So we see some more ex-Barca B and first-team regulars, Andre Gomes.
Nearly the other player about ready to step in, it looks like. Maybe give Vidal a bit of a break.
And Gomes, another one of those players coming from Valencia who could use a good performance. Hasn't exactly showed his best football here at Barcelona yet.
Another chance. Titi drives to the 18, dishes wide. Rafinha. Down goes Ingles to head it away, but only as far as Carbonell. The stadium going through a bit of a retrofit recently. Nice ball wide from Suarez. Good ball in for Alcácer, but a lunging challenge from Roman knocks it away just in time.
I think Roman and Rojas have done quite well, all things considered. The tight, intricate passing display here from Barcelona, that's more like it. What we expected from them. Alcácer nearly getting the final touch again. Player
down inside the box, and looks like our first changes of the day.
Didn't see much of Denis Suarez. Wasn't too involved in the possession, and Andre Gomes, bit of a different player.
Well, this is interesting. And you almost wonder whether this is a chance to see Vidal at a different position. So the right back Neely will check in. Will it be Vidal or Digne who slides inside to pair with Borja Lopez? Well, Gomes will step in alongside Carbonell in the midfield. In the corner. Again, at 6'4", not going to be easy to get over Rojas. And it does look like Vidal, because that was just on the clearance from the corner.
Digne, Phil. Yeah, looks like it's Digne, the one slotting in as a center back alongside the youngster Borja Lopez.
Well, out, look at it like a handball on Gomes, but the referee says no, too close. Not enough time to react. Deflected away by Paco Peña. Nice from Juanma. Mainz tries to turn, pinching in Neely. So it is Digne who has slid inside next to Lopez, who has moved over to that right center back spot. And Neely going to his off foot out at left back now, the 22-year-old from Las Palmas.
And Rafinha playing at right back.
Two changes now upcoming for the hosts. Chechu joining Mignano. Day done for Gaspar.
Worked hard, especially defensively, as he was oftentimes the wing back to play in that back six. You can see how tired some of these Hércules players are, who have to really give so much energy, and it's the two attacking wide players removed, the ones who had to give the width up front and also track back and defend. Both of them
Salinas out,
completely
Gaspar
gassed.
out. Chechu Flores, the 34-year-old veteran out of Tenerife. Mignano had been playing in Belorussia. And Torpedo Jordino, 28-year-old, now back in his native Spain. Still just 1-1. There's a good look at Chechu. Stepping up Borja, Vidal, Rafinha, Suarez, who did stay in there. It was Carbonell who exited. Nice from Alenia, quick feet. Turan, Alenia, good ball in, deflected at the last moment before Rafinha could get it. Clearance deflected out. Juanma tries to keep it in play, but no. One back by Barcelona. Gomes lifting it in just over the feet of Paco. A slow roller from Turan, but off target, no problem for Bigues.
Going for target, did have that option in the middle.
And the final sub getting set. Hey! Having fun. Needs some reason to smile after recent games. Of course, talking about that Clásico, it was a victory for Barcelona at home, and it's back down to just a one-game lead for Real. Barca looking for a winner here. Laid off Neely. Gomes with the shot, deflected wide. Vidal will track it down. Sergio Roberto and Marc Cardona, the only field players left on the bench for Barca, driving inside Rafinha and then just smartly playing it out for the corner.
I think Alex Vidal's really grown into this game after a poor start in terms of his delivery. He's getting all his passes, with the kid. Right? Yeah.
So the 21-year-old who started at Atletico Sanluqueño before moving to Barca B. Cleared away by Rojas. Now that would likely be a straight swap for Alcácer, which would mean another game, another scoreless game. Of course, maybe pulls Arda Turan just to rest him for the Clásico. The ex-Atleti man inside. A nice little back heel from Alenia, starting to feel it. And again, playing with some more familiar faces. Soft from Paco Peña. Kicked out wide. Mignano could not get there in time. As you see, Hércules forcing a few more turnovers than even Barca has on the day. Neely. Back to Turan. Alenia trying to show. Gets around Ongba, who then brings him down from behind. The Cameroonian pleading his innocence to no avail. You can almost hear Luis Enrique in the background talking to the young striker. And they will pull out the goal scorer, it appears.
He's been one of Barca's best performers, Phil, with the ball at his feet. Of course, the goal helps a lot in that department, but it's what he did when he was in possession. His quick passing, you could see the flair, the talent. Well, he could trap the ball. Definitely one for the future.
And that future might not be that far away. Final quarter hour. Denis Suarez runs starting to the spot. The header, but right down the middle. Andre Gomes, left or right, he's got a goal. Instead, an easy stop for Bigues.
A beautiful delivery from Denis Suarez, just looping it over the muck of players, and two unmarked ones for Barcelona.
Chechu tries to get around Digne, but can't.
Maybe should have done a bit better with that open header, Andre Gomes.
Into the center, here is the Portuguese man. Trickles in, Bigues off his line quickly. Mentioned this in the early going, but a bit of revenge here for Barcelona. Last 2 years they faced off against Hércules in league play. The underdogs have taken a chomp. 2010 snapping a 15-month unbeaten streak at the Camp Nou and an 11-match win streak. Nelsonito Valdez, the man who scored both of those goals, and then back in 1996-97 they swept Barcelona and gave the title to Real Madrid. 1-1, nothing to sneeze at. And credit to Luis Enrique leaving Paco Alcácer out there to try and finally break the duck. Good run, Juanma. Gomes read it though. Rafinha. Suarez. Here's the footsteps of Chechu. Back to Rafinha. Wide for Neely. Perdomo back to the inside for Suarez. Run from Vidal. Spots it. Defended. But ball blasted right to Cardona and parried away by Bigues. Almost another debut goal.
Cardona doing something within a minute that they couldn't get from Paco Alcácer this entire match. A shot on goal.
Again, making his debut, Cardona. Still in play, did not want to surrender the ball inside the box. Clears it away for Digne, lifted in Turan, headered. Again, another shot on goal from Cardona, but again, straight to Bigues.
And that's more important. He's making himself an option in the air with his shot here. 2 shots on goal in just about a minute 30. That is great work from the youngster. Didn't catch that one too badly either.
And then the header to follow, and as you pointed out, Marc Cardona's been on the field for a grand total of about a minute, and he's already got 2 shots on goal. Paco Alcácer has been out there for nearly 80. He's only got 1. Final sub for Hércules. It's going to be Jesus Berrocal, and the goal scorer David Mainz with a nice round of applause as he exits.
Yeah, apart from the goal for Mainz, he spent a lot of energy. Remember him coming back into his own defensive half quite a few times and trying to win the ball back. So no surprise that it's 3 of the more attacking players that have been removed. They've been the ones who have had to do work on both sides of the pitch.
Although, credit to Tevenet, as a forward in his own right, he's replaced them with attackers. And now Berrocal, the 28-year-old out of Ponferradina. What can he add with a few fresh legs? 2 goals on the season for the newcomer. Both in Hércules wins after scoring 5 last year for Ponferradina.
Look at that Andre Gomes header. He was being kept onside. No question about that. Free header for him. Should have done a bit better though. Entire goal to aim at. It's right down the center.
Well, blasted away by Digne. Little slip from Paco, whose day gets even more frustrating. Rojas switches. Chechu brings it down nicely inside Juanma. Back to Chechu. Some nice play here from Hércules. Trying to make that run, Berrocal, but intercepted. Vidal with some fancy footwork. Turan off target. Back for Ongba. Near side Dalmau. Chechu with the nice touch to get around Neely, but a strong challenge by Digne. They'll call the earlier foul.
Not a bad turn here from Chechu. Fresh legs, trying to get anything possible, and you have to figure for Thévenet these final 10 minutes he's going to have to go for it. Push a higher back line. Yes, that could be suicidal, but if you're going in with a draw to the Camp Nou, almost like a loss, really.
Really only one upset on the day. We'll go over this on Extra a little bit later today. Chicho Flores, dangerous ball, cleared to the back post, dribbling the wrong direction, Turan, and he takes it out for a corner.
A bit lackadaisical there in possession instead of just clearing it away and booting it. He's trying to get a bit cute, Turan, by dribbling around the edge.
Osasuna, a home team against Granada, 2 struggling sides in La Liga. Granada able to get a bit of an upset from the ex-Barcelona man Jon Toral. But the only real upset, Cordoba, upending Malaga with 2 late goals, Rodri and Borja Dominguez. Will this be the 3rd upset and maybe the biggest of the bunch? Sardinia only 5'10", being towered over. Roman and Rojas. Chechu inside, not a bad idea. Went for Ongba, but his header flashes wide. And a good showdown. Kind of wonder what type of lineup Luis Enrique will put out. And to give you an idea, as we take a look at a good comparison, Arda Turan, the veteran, giving up the ball a lot more than the kid making his debut. This is not a good result for Luis Enrique, because what this means is, as you go into one of your busiest times of the year, right around the new year, they will likely have to play many of their regular starters just to assure advancing to the next round, when they would have liked to put it away here in the first leg and maybe give these kids another chance around a Christmas present.
I still think you can play a lot of the backups and some of the youth players and be pretty confident about a win at home against Hércules.
Digne. Again, one of the wrinkles. Well, you see Neely pushing forward, so if anything, it's almost like 3 in the back, with Neely acting as a wing mid.
And then Cardona right alongside Alcácer. 2 strikers up top now. A bit more support for Alcácer, who really struggled to get anything on goal.
Nice for Ongba. Hércules not giving up hope for an upset win themselves. Trying to make the run Berrocal, but the ball dispossessed at the last moment. Barca in second, 6 points back of Real Madrid. Again, a win would bring it back to 3. But a loss would stretch it to 9. Meanwhile, in the Segunda B Group 3 table, Hércules at 24 points. That's 10 points less than Barca B, who topped the group. But remember, the B sides cannot get promoted to the A side, above the A side, but they still could go back up to the Segunda A. Alcoyano, Valencia, and Barcelona, the teams currently in those promotion spots. Cramping up. Hard-working day for the man who came over from Oviedo.
Spent some time as well with Oviedo last season when they were in the second division. Nearly got promoted to La Liga.
Juan Carlos Unsue was Enrique's right-hand man. Duran sends it back in onside, and just before Cardona got there, it's cleared away, but he commits a foul in the process. And again, even if he doesn't end up with a shot here, credit to Alcácer for laying a nice ball across, but it was Cardona making the run.
You're right, Phil. He's done that a few times, though, Alcácer. It doesn't even look to go for goal himself. In the first half, he had a few chances to settle the ball and trying to go for a strike against Bigues, but elected to try to be a playmaker more than anything. He's the one that needs to take that shot on goal. Pay the money for Alcácer, the playmaker. We need him to start scoring a few.
Tevenet earning some stripes, some accolades here. Not a bad idea. Digne, though, able to haul it in. First season with Hércules. Arturan, nearly in support. Tries to get around Dalmau and gets left in the dust, but a poor clearance from the right back. Nice from Digne, flying in front of the flashing boots of Espinosa. Suarez lays it off. Neely sends it across. Well defended. But again, only as far as Digne in the midfield. Fans not happy. Hércules just surrendering possession a little too easily. Player down behind the play as well. But it's not a head injury, so the referee not obliged to stop. And again, it's not necessarily head, but serious injury. And you could say it's just cramps, but then again, it's not your leg that's cramping.
So here was it on that stretch there? Did he feel a hamstring? You know, it just
Inglés
was down after the clearance.
And again, after 90 minutes of running to keep up with Barcelona, cramping is understandable.
That's another thing, is going up against a side that conditioning is a bit different than what you're used to seeing in the Segunda B of Spanish football.
No credit for the underdogs from the third flight. They will go in with a puncher's chance to the second leg of the Camp Nou. Think about it, a meaningful game in one of the temples of football. It doesn't get much better than that. Freezes Chechu, lifts it in, but an easy grab for Bigues. Trying to limp it back on. Pedro Inglés does not want to leave his team short-handed, already out of substitutes. Strong challenge, takes it. Afinia out. Paco Peña says, what did I do? Well, he'll get a card for his efforts.
And Peña knows better. He's been around long enough, nearly 40. Seen a thing or two in his time, and he comes in from behind. That is a very dangerous challenge, Phil, and that's going in. Studs up. Oh,
flying, and we've seen red cards
yeah, red
for that.
card, absolutely.
You see him screaming to Rafi, apologies, but Rafinha doesn't want to take the call. Digne.
Run was on from Denis Suarez. Not wanted by Digne.
Gomes. Rafinha. Vidal. Nothing great from Vidal. A few good moments. Nothing horrendous either. Maybe enough to convince Luis Enrique to give him another chance sometime soon. Turan wide. Tries to get around Chechu. Pokes it free. Plucks it away, but straight back to the Turk. Chechu, though, picks his pocket on the way out. 3.5 minutes of added time remain. Immediately after this match in Sports in Espanol, it's the locker room. Extra will be wrapping things up at 7 with the locker room on beIN Sports at 7:30. Suarez lays it off. Rafinha drops it back. Suarez getting an extended opportunity, especially now that Aleñá has exited, to pilot the Barca ship.
It's a good hold-up play.
Laid
from
back
Cardona.
by Carmona. Trickles inside, cleared away by Ingles. Forward for Juanma, but the pass behind. Rafinha with some backspin, should hold, but well defended.
Chechu's been a pretty positive involvement since coming in here in the second half. All the pressure on Arda Turan, who hasn't had his best day, along with some other of the more Barcelona regulars.
Ten shots for Hércules, 10 shots for Barca. A few more on target for Barcelona in the second half, but it's all level on the scoreboard as we head to the final minute. Possession tilting a little more towards Hércules. It was 80% in the first half for Barca, only 73% here in the second. Lopez seems a little more comfortable on that right side. Maybe one of the reasons they pulled Umtiti. Pass wide for Neely. Neely Perdomo plucks it away. Back for Suarez. Gomes shows. Dummied through by Turan. Carries for Vidal. Rafinha for the Portuguese mid. 20 seconds left. Fans want to get one more blast at glory. Neely to the goal line. Neely tries the cross, defended nicely by Dalmau, and that might well lead to the final whistle. Maybe one last chance for Suarez. One last chance for Alcácer. Rojas. Tower of power on that back line for the home side. Denis Suarez sends it into the 6th. Loose. Blasted up and over. And that's going to do it. Arda Turan flashing in, had to go as that one sails high and wide. 1-1 the final. Cardona thinks there maybe could have been a chance for another corner, but the 90 minutes are up. And one young Costa Blanca fan blotting his book, a few of them in fact now out to try and say hello to the legends of the big club, at least those that have shown up. The final score 1-1. Mainz opened the scoring in the 52nd on some sloppy defense. Alenia, a brilliant shot to tie it up.